بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فهذا مختصر مضبوط في النحو جمعت فيه مهمات النحو على ترتيب القافية مبوبا ومفصلا بعبارات واضحة مع إيراد الأمثلة في جميع مسائلها من غير تعرض للأدلة والعلل لئلا يشوش ذهن المبتدئ عن فهم المسائل وسميته بهداية النحو رجاء أن يهدي الله تعالى به الطالبين. This is page number 6 of Hidayatun Nahw. This is our second lesson. The author writes, فَهَذَا مُخْتَصِرٌ مَضْبُوطٌ فِي النَّحْوِ. This is a short book. هَذَا مُخْتَصِرٌ, a short book, مَضْبُوطٌ فِي النَّحْوِ, compiled in the science of Nahw. جمعت فيه مهمات النحو على ترتيب القافية. I have compiled in it the important treatise of Nahw على ترتيب القافية, on the pattern of Qafiyah. This gentleman who has written this book is understood to be Shaykh Sirajuddin Chishti Nizami. He has compiled this book as an introduction to Nahw, and he says himself in the first line that ala tartib al-Qafiyah, that it is on the pattern of Qafiyah. Qafiyah is a more comprehensive book written by Ibn Hajib, who is from the 11th century, an Egyptian scholar, and he has created earthquakes in the world of Nahw. He is a great intellectual, somebody with immense knowledge, and sometimes reading his text, it baffles one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him so much. And this is for decades, for hundreds of years, this has been taught throughout the Islamic world. Qafiyah has been taught throughout the Islamic world. This gentleman, Shaykh Sirajuddin, although Kashf al-Zunoon has given 3 other names that he claims that they are the authors of this particular book, Hidayatun Nahw, but we say that it is Sirajuddin Chishti Nizami. He says that he has compiled this book in Nahw on the principles of Qafiyah, Jama'atu fihi muhimmat Nahwi, and he has included important subjects, treatise of Nahw on the pattern of Qafiyah. In the next sentence he says, Mubawwibun wa mufassila. This can be termed as Mubawwabun wa mufassalan. So that would be Ismi Maf'ul. But here I am interpreting it as Ismi Fa'il Mubawwiban wa mufassilan bi ibaratin wadihatin ma'a iradil amsilati. He says that I have in this text, he says that he has made this book into a bab and fasal. These are plurals of bab, which are chapters and sub-chapters with this. And my students here would understand that the other books that we have studied, like Nur al-Iza, there is something called Kitab, then is something called Fasal, then is something called Bab. This is chapters. One Kitab means a book where all subjects that are related. For example, when you say Kitab al-Tahara, all subjects all items that are related to purity or cleanliness, they will be included in this, and then there would be chapters, and then there would be sub-chapters. Here, this gentleman, he says, Mubawwiban wa mufassila, there is chapters and then there is sub-chapters in this book. And he says, ibaratin wadihatin, with clear text. Ibaratin wadihatin, the text of this is very clear. Ma'a iradil amsilati fi jami'i masailiha. I have brought examples. He says, I have brought examples with all equations. So his intentions, irad means to bring, and I have brought about examples with all of the equations, min ghayri ta'arrudin, without chasing after all of the reasons and arguments. For example, you will learn further in the book that there will be argumentation, there will be reasoning of certain parts, certain items, and there will be great detail, and it will go into great depth. But here he says that in this particular book, I have tried not to go after reasoning and arguments, but I have tried to keep it as simple as possible. لِأَلَّا يُشَوِّفُ ذَهْنَ الْمُبْتَدِي عَنْ فَهْمِ الْمَسَائِلِ, so that the reason for that he has done this is so that I don't confuse the beginner. لِأَلَّا يُشَوِّفُ ذَهْنَ الْمُبْتَدِي, does not want to confuse the beginner who is attempting to understand Nahw an fahm al-masail, in the technical equations. And then further he says, وَسَمَّيْتُهُ, he says, I have named this Hidayatun Nahw. This is a guidance to Nahw. رَجَاءَ أَن يَهْدِيَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى بِهِ الطَّالِبِينَ. And he says that he prays, this is a dua at the end. He is in the hope, with the hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides the beginner towards Nahw. This, gentlemen, is the translation that is of the first passage, which is page number 6. Now there is certain items that one should understand. What is the difference between Nahw Mir, Hidayatun Nahw, and Kafiya? Kafiya is not a very, very lengthy book, but it is of similar size. This is Al-Bushra print of Al-Qafiya. And in Al-Qafiya, this is my own book, the one I have been using for many years for teaching. Here you see that there is one sentence, or sometimes a few words, there is great detail, and they must be explained. Ibn Hajib, the author of Qafiya, he does not give many examples. He doesn't give examples. This gentleman, Sheikh Sirajuddin, Hidayatun Nahw, there is many examples of equations. He breaks them down. He tries to explain them to you. And inshallah, all of the examples that will be coming in this book, we will be dissecting them on a whiteboard, and we will be doing a syntactical analysis of all of these, inshallah, bifazlihi ta'ala. And this book, it says in this text that it gives you details, it gives you examples, and he doesn't go into the reasoning, and he doesn't want to confuse, but moreover he wants to make it an introduction to Qafiya. Qafiya, the author of Qafiya, he uses very limited words, but words that have great meaning, in-depth meaning, and he sometimes indicates towards the teachers of this book so that they can teach their students what he is trying to say. But if you was to take the text of Qafiya, for example, you will see that on every single page, like this book, Hidayatun Nahw, there is probably only one line. This is the text, this is the commentary. You will see that there is only 1 or 2 or 3 lines. But if you was to take the whole of Qafiya and you was to write it down on an A4 size piece of paper, maybe you will only end up with only 4 or 5 or maybe 6, 7 A4 size pages. So it's not a very lengthy book, but it's of great importance in the journey to becoming an alim. But this gentleman, but there is no examples of this. In Nahw Mir, there is some introduction. There is the chart and the structure of Nahw. So it would tell you the kalima, it would tell you about what ism, the divisions of kalima, ism, how many types of isms there is how many types of verbs there is. But here it will give you examples. And what it will do is, if you turn to page number 9, where after kalima, it would explain to you, فَحَدُّ الْإِسْمِ كَلِمَةٌ تَدُلُّ عَلَى مَعْنًى فِي نَفْسِهَا غَيْرِ مُقْتَرِنٍ بِأَحَدِ الْأَزْمِنَةِ الثَّلَاثَةِ أَعْنِ الْمَاضِيَ وَالْحَالَ وَالْإِسْتِقْبَالَ. So it would tell you the definition of a noun. So what is a noun? It will give you the definition, but then it will give you وَعَلَامَتُهُ, and it will tell you what the condition of a noun is. So how to recognize it, when the rules of the regions, the amil, when they change, what are the conditions, when they will change, when they will not change. Okay, and here for example it says wa alamatuhu sikhatul ikhbari anhu nahu zaidun qa'imun. So then it would tell you that it will say wa alamatuhu sikhatul ikhbari anhu nahu. It will say it is proper to give information about the noun. So this is the definition, and then it will give you an example, zaidun qa'imun, and then it will see this does not happen in qafiya, but it does happen in NAHW. They do give, there is examples of this, but this is an introduction to qafiya. This is a beginner's book for NAHW, but it will give you all types of conditions. NAHW doesn't give you conditions, not all the time. It does right at the end, but in the beginning it doesn't give you conditions. So this is one of the reasons that we are studying Hidayatun NAHW. Inshallah, I hope this first lesson is beneficial for you, and inshallah they will get more better and better. And inshallah, once we come across the sentences, for example, one of the first sentences is Zaidun Qa'imun. We will be inshallah writing Zaidun Qa'imun on a board, and then we'll be dissecting it, and we will be explaining what the beginning is, what the subject of the sentence is, and what it is. And we will be looking at every single condition of the definition of a word. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this journey easy for us.